So that killer squash joke that we've been working on. Oh no, TLC match, Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. This ended up being a lot of people's favorite match of the night, and it had some fun parts to it, but I was a little bit let down because I really wanted these two to just go fucking balls to the wall crazy, and for the most part, it was Ambrose jumping from the ladder and doing an elbow drop. He did it 3 times in this match. So, the first time he did it, cool. Second time he did it, just saw it 30 seconds ago. Third time he did it, I was just like, really, we're gonna fucking back to this well again. A lot of kendo sticks used in this, which I, of course, couldn't resist making the joke that it's just now the tables, ladders, chairs, and kendo sticks match. Good job throwing that out there, Tony. Now that I'm looking at my notes, pat on the back on that one. Other than the end of the match being kind of odd, I don't really think that there's much noteworthy for this. And even that is just... Miguel, what did you think about the Wyatt and Ambrose match? And even more particular, what did you think about the ending of it?
I hated the ending. I've never been madder at the end of a matchup in my entire life. And I don't get mad at pay-per-views because I get disappointed. This actually made me mad because up until that point, the match was actually really good. I loved the psychology. I thought it was slow, but it was slow for a reason. They focused a lot on the facial expressions. It felt like something different. It felt like something special between these guys. I really liked this matchup, but that ending that wasn't an ending. It wasn't. It was insulting to my intelligence more so than anything WWE does, and for that to have happened at the end of a matchup that I was really loving, I just walked away from this whole pay-per-view mad at it, and it was mostly because of that. Other than that, the matchup was really great.
Did you throw a tantrum because of how bad this pay-per-view was? I can just imagine you getting up mad and just like pacing back and forth like, "Oh, I'm so pissed off at this pay-per-view."
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
I was too tired to be physically mad. I was just mentally
So wait,
mad.
did you just turn on your sink and just went to bed?
What?
No, because I actually have to pay a water bill, you dick.
How does that make any sense? You're really stretching to get that joke in there, weren't you?
Yeah.
See, I'm really trying to get every joke in there. Okay, go
You know
on.
what he is? He's trying to kill everybody else's memes so that the only ones that are left are his.
So
No, it's not
really,
even that because we've mentioned all of my jokes already.
if you were gonna pull that out there, you should have said something like, "So, Miguel, you really thought that they did a good job in this? They put everything out there, including the kitchen sink."
Boo.
See, there you go. Some thought behind it. Work on that squash joke, Drew.
I've got a few jokes. I gotta get a squash joke.
Peyton, did you like the end of this match?
Fuck that ending.
Fuck that.
That ending was goddamn terrible. All right, the match was okay at best. Not main event quality, so that's once again a fail on the part of both of these guys who are supposed to be two of the biggest stars going into the future. They did a terrible performance here if that was the case. If they were supposed to be the last big match that we saw of this year, holy fuck did they blow it. And it wasn't even all on them because you know what? That ending, people are picking on it specifically and it deserves it. That was horrendous. Miguel nailed it on the head. And I think this is the thing that people use way too much when complaining about wrestling because it is stupid and it's supposed to be wrestling and be stupid. But that was such an insult to intelligence. That was fucking dumb, all right? Electronics don't work like that, okay? I don't care how fucking dumb you are. When you run away with a TV, the plug is just going to come out.
Yeah.
All right, maybe you'll get a tiny little spark, but that's it. All right, we're not this fucking stupid.
You know what
if
it
you wanted to
reminded?
have some kind of explosion, that's fine. But this was just fucking dumb. The whole thing was a waste of time. I regret a few months ago when in that Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins, I said Dean Ambrose had a nice elbow drop and he should use it more. I didn't mean it like that. I just meant he should use it maybe every match. But fucking A. Endings are important, not just to the match, but for the whole pay-per-view. That's what people are going to walk away remembering the most. And that is what you left people with. When you're trying to make this feeling that the main roster is better than your developmental company, which just had possibly the most kick-ass show of the year, that's the performance you're going to put out there with that attitude. Complete failure by every single person involved with that match. The two performers, the people who wrote it in the booking room, the road agent who worked with these guys, somebody should have spoke up and realized that this was a terrible fucking idea.
You think they just fucking hate Dean Ambrose for some reason? Because it's starting to look like that.
I don't know.
Well,
I fucking hate Bray Wyatt, that's for sure.
I'm actually surprised that Dean didn't get it because he's been losing most, if not all, of his major matches for the past few months, and this
He
did
hasn't
nothing.
won anything since the Shield broke up. He hasn't won a single match on pay-per-view.
Yeah, and this really should have been the matchup for him to really get over, and yeah, they went with that awful ending. Your turn, Drew. Go ahead.
I was waiting for someone to say, Drew, are you going to say anything of relevance? Out of everything from this match, I was just going to say that I'm worried about Dean Ambrose for the most part because, I don't know what they're doing with him at this point, mainly because it's weird how he's lost everything, but still, he's one of the main guys, even though he's lost like every pay-per-view match. If John Cena were to go through the slump, I think people would pay attention to that more, but not that many people have mentioned that, and it's kind of like, hey, it's kind of a big deal, especially when you're a rising star and you lose every single pay-per-view match. So that's going to be interesting going into the new year. But, the match was okay. That ending sucked. And I think they mentioned it, that they had the TV, that monitor under the ring because, one of the monitors that the
technicians use, yeah.
I don't even want to fucking explain it. I don't even care that much. So, I was going to make a squash joke, but I can't fit it in.
You know what that whole bit reminded me of? You remember when they retired the old Raw ring because Triple H threw a sledgehammer through it and it started to spark and smoke and all that, even though it was obvious it was just like a theater backdrop, like one of those like paper frames.
Sure.
No, that's how they got. That's why they retired the old Raw set. Was like the storyline was that Triple H threw a sledgehammer through like the little screen through the doorway, and so it ruined the rest of the whole Titantron. So they had to get the new HD set.
See, I thought you said ring, so I thought you were trying to tell me that they retired the ring because he threw a sledgehammer at it. I was so confused.
It's almost 2 a.m., dude. I'm punchy, okay?
God.
Punchy!
Thank you for...
Schmoes Bay! I'm like the only How I Met Your Mother fan out there except for Drew.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting
You got
down.
that joke. All right, guys.
I do.
Well, that is our breakdown of TLC. Obviously, more reasons for why we liked our evolution. That's what we've got to say about it. What do you have to say about it? Leave a comment below and tell us what you thought of all these different matches. And of course, next week, who knows? Maybe you'll get the Smark My Words comment of the week. So we just need to do the Fantasy League and the plugs and an outro, and then we will say goodbye to you guys. So stay tuned. Click on that next video, everybody. We will see you there.